Hey everybody, it's your girl Bondy Blue, and I want you to check out Bondy's Boutique and get some of my merch, y'all. I've added some new things like my mermaid cups and the mermaid tees, and also the Shake Them Tits mugs. All right, you asked for it and you got it. Check out Bondy's merch at Bondy's Boutique.
Hey everybody, what's up? It's your girl Bondy Blue, and it is Bondy Blue. I'm on YouTube. It is Bondy Blue. Get into. Alright, look, little ditty that I had put to the theme music that I ain't never recorded. Alright, y'all, without any further ado, let's go ahead and get into the topics. It wasn't a lot of topics this week. Let's start with the college admission scandal. Okay, Felicity Huffman from Housewives, from Desperate Housewives, I love that show. And Lori Loughlin from Full House and Fuller House. Mind you, she just got fired from Fuller House. And her two daughters left USC, the school that they cheated to get into. Alright? Now, I don't know if y'all heard about the admission scandal, but I know y'all probably have. The story's been going around everywhere. Okay? And basically, rich people are paying for their stupid, lazy fucking kids to get into Ivy League colleges. This is basically what's been going on. I personally feel like I'm not surprised. This is something that's been going on for a very long time. For one, rich people have always been able to use their influence, use their money to make a way for their poor poor in judgments, but not in money, poor in spirit, poor in intelligence children to get into places that they otherwise should not be. Now, y'all, I'm going to come back to this because I want to read the article that the Los Angeles Times posted for y'all, because I want to make sure I got, you know, the man name and all of that, you know, who was the head of this. But I want to say that there was a while back when I did a video, the Bondy Blue Show, and I was talking about DJ Envy versus Killer Mike. And it was basically like private schools versus the public schools. And I was saying that I felt as if DJ Envy was selfish. Yes, you could give to people and all of that type of shit, but when it comes to actually changing what's happening in the communities you grew up in, I feel like niggas don't be caring like that. Not to say he doesn't care overall, but when it comes to this specific thing, when it comes to the education of children who may not have the same, you know, opportunities as his children now that he's made all of this money, he still grew up in these communities around, you know, broke kids, grew up as a broke kid. He didn't have the same opportunities as some of the rich kids, but from radio, he parlayed that into a way to make himself money. And, you know, a lot of the times we, you know, use entertainment and journalism and sports as black people and, you know, acting and entertainment, all of those things that may come to us easier than good educations, because those things don't come to us as easy. But now that DJ Envy has money, and I told y'all I felt that I was on Killer Mike's side because I felt like DJ Envy was coming from a real selfish place, and people was in the comments telling me how can you say that he does this, and that. I'm just telling you what I feel like, baby. That's what the Bondy Blue Show is all about. Me telling y'all what I feel about some of the bullshit I done seen in the news and in the blogs, mostly in the blogs. So if this is not what you here to see, then go to a news station or something like that. But that's what we here for today. Okay? And I said I didn't like the way he handled that situation. We come back around to this, and everybody is ragtagging that ass on the radio because he said that he would be right along with these stupid ass rich parents paying for his child, whether she deserved it or not, to get into an Ivy League school. He said he would do the exact same thing. Y'all don't think that's fucked up? You don't think something is wrong with a nigga who would go through all of that and pay money to get his child into a school that she don't deserve to be in and then pay tuition on top of that? That sounds dumb as fuck to me. He still says that he would do that. I feel like that's so ridiculous. So ridiculous for you to waste money on damn near grown-up to go into a college atmosphere that is expensive and competitive. They're not going to be able to keep their head above water in a school that they couldn't even get into. A lot of the times they can't. A lot of times they can't. And then you taking a seat from somebody who actually does have the intellect and deserves to be in that spot. That shit makes me mad, y'all. That shit really makes me mad. So let's go back to this. Federal prosecutors accused top CEOs, two Hollywood actresses, and a legendary fashion designer, Massimo, okay, that's his name, Massimo, of taking part in an audacious scheme to get their children into elite universities through fraud, bribes, and lies. Of the 32 parents named in the FBI affidavit filed in U.S. District Court in Boston, more than half stand accused of conspiring to bribe their way into USC. Federal authorities have said the investigation into college admissions fraud is ongoing, and there are signs more parents could be swept up. Amid growing frustrations and anger, USC will deny entry to about half a dozen students involved in the college admissions scandal. Okay? Some of those indicted in the admissions scandal, hold up y'all, I'm going blind. After a while, I can't see the shit no more. Okay? Some of those indicted in the admission scandal occupy positions of trust regulated by governments. Can they be trusted in their businesses? No, they cannot. Okay? Olivia Jade, daughter of Lori Loughlin, dropped by Sephora amid college admission scandal because apparently she's a YouTuber and just wants to be a YouTuber. But her mom, because of what her mom thinks is acceptable based on the fact that she's been on all these Hallmark movies, okay, feels as if her daughter should be in an Ivy League school. Sephora has ended its brand partnership with social media influencer Olivia Jade Giannulli, the daughter of actress Lori Loughlin and designer Massimo Giannulli, in wake of a college admission scandal enveloping her and her parents. Hallmark cuts Lori Loughlin from all projects amid college admission scandal. Bitches is losing jobs left and right. The point is that there are children, there are kids out there that are fighting, that are doing the absolute most in order to be able to go to some of these colleges and universities, even though they might deserve it when it comes to their intellectual capabilities, their SAT scores, their ACT scores, which all of these things have apparently been used in order to get these dumbass kids into school. Okay, Felicity paid $15,000 to get her daughter's SAT scores up 400 points. Okay. And with that can sometimes come scholarships. So you're taking money away from kids who really need it and deserve it, so that you can give it to your bored ass rich kids who don't even want it, who don't even care about it. Okay, here we are, you guys. Here we are. The scheme, which began in 2011, centered on a Newport Beach college placement firm run by Rick Singer. Wealthy parents paid Singer to help their children cheat on college entrance exams and to falsify athletic records of students to enable them to secure admission to elite schools, including UCLA, USC, Stanford, Yale, Georgetown, according to court records. According to court papers, the scam unraveled last year when one of Singer's coaches decided to go off on his own and work directly with the parent. Oh, he fucked it all up. Rudy Meredith, Yale's women's soccer coach for more than 2 decades, had previously helped Singer fake the soccer credentials of a child of a Singer client. But in spring 2018, he solicited a bribe directly from the father of a second Yale applicant, whom the Department of Justice designated as Yale applicant 2. What the coach did not know was that the parent took the proposal to federal prosecutors because the parent was already charged in a stock fraud and was looking to cut a deal. According to the court papers, nigga was like, look, I know y'all trying to get me on this, but I got something for y'all that y'all ain't even know about, okay? The source could not confirm whether the father of Yale applicant 2 is the LA parent. Meredith met with the father in a Boston hotel room, sketchy, which the FBI had wiretapped according to court records. At this meeting, the father paid Meredith $2,000 and agreed to eventually pay $450,000 on the effort. Meredith began cooperating with the government's investigation with the hope of receiving leniency when he is sentenced, according to the government. He has agreed to plead guilty to wire fraud, honest services, wire fraud, and conspiracy. Why did they say, oh, honest services, wire fraud? So that must be 2 different types of wire fraud. Yeah, y'all. So Singer. Okay, prosecutors allege that Singer instructed parents to donate funds to a fake charity he had established as part of the scheme. Most of the parents paid at least $200,000, but some spent up to $6.5 million to guarantee their children admission to top universities, authorities said. The parents were then able to deduct the donation from their income taxes according to the Internal Revenue. Bitch. The scheme itself was fairly simple, prosecutors said. Singer instructed parents to seek extended time for their children on ACT and SAT exams. You know how when you already have it in your mind to say it, but you're reading it, so you're fucking it up? My bad. In at least one instance, a student claims to have a learning disability to obtain medical documentation required by the College Board and ACT Inc. to grant additional time on the test, according to court documents. Prosecutors allege the parents' money was also used in some cases to bribe university athletic coaches and administrators to designate applicants as athletic recruits regardless of their athletic ability, and in some cases even though they did not play the sport. So that is all, that is it that I'm going to read about that. I know some of y'all don't like when I read it, but I hope that was okay for y'all, because it was just so much. You guys, this is just so ridiculous. And I hope that the people who they catch go to jail, because y'all put the little Black and Latino parents in jail whenever they just lie about their address to try to get their child into a better school. Not even trying to pay somebody off, but just trying to pay for their child to get a better education because what the state provides is not good enough. I'm gonna tell y'all the truth, I don't even like the fact that each state gets to choose. I feel like whoever has the best system, the government needs to implement that system to everybody. Because the fact that different places are allowed to teach and give certain things to their kids, like we all know the public schools in California are way better than the public schools down here in Louisiana. Why is that? That shit is not cool. That shit is not okay. I really do feel like it should be government ran. I know a lot of people don't agree with that, but I also feel when you see the disparages and the differences between what California or New York can, even Texas in some instances can offer their children when it comes to academics versus what Mississippi in Louisiana and some of the places in Florida, like it's just, you just know that some of these kids are going to fail or not get to where that they need to get, not get the help that they need to get, because of maybe difference in learning abilities and everything. They don't get what they need because the money isn't being put in their neighborhood. That's bullshit to me. And we all know what that's based off of. That's based off of how much money you make and sometimes the color of your skin. All right? So yeah, y'all, I'm not happy about this. I don't think it's cool. I hope they asses go to jail. Okay, so I'm going to talk about something that I otherwise would not, but I don't have a lot to talk about, and so many of y'all asked for me to talk about Trinity Jones, and I'm going to read this article from NBC News about it, and we'll discuss. So, the mother of a 9-year-old girl whose body was found in a duffel bag near Los Angeles has been arrested in Texas and extradited back to Southern California, officials say. Tequesta Graham, 28, was at the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Station in Norwalk on Friday and held without bail for an unrelated parole violation, according to jail records. A criminal case naming Graham as a suspect in the death of her daughter, Trinity Love Jones, is being prepared by sheriff's investigators for Los Angeles County prosecutors. Homicide investigators continue to vet community tips and follow up on additional evidence obtained during the investigation, according to an LA County Sheriff's statement. The criminal case naming Tequesta Graham is being prepared for presentation to the district attorney's officer on a later date. Graham's boyfriend, Emil Lamar Hunt, 38, has already been booked on suspicion of murder and is now being held in lieu of $2 million bail inside a downtown Los Angeles jail, sheriff deputies say. The little girl's body was found March 5th in a black bag on an equestrian trail in Hacienda Heights, about 20 miles east of downtown Los Angeles. Trinity's death has been ruled a homicide, but authorities have not said exactly how the girl was killed. Y'all don't usually like to talk about shit like that because I feel like that's so sad and so fucked up. First of all, only 9 years old. You name her Trinity Love Jones, and then you kill her in a fashion that we're unaware of as of yet. Throw her body in a bag and throw her on the side of a fucking trail, on the side of the road. Really? Why when you can just give the child up? Why? Why when you can just give the child up? I wonder if it was like an act of you know, passion, where maybe the little girl was crying or upset about something, and instead of, you know, walking away, you hit the child, throw up against the wall, or do something to then, you know, kill her. You do something to kill her, and then instead of calling the police and saying it was an accident, you throw her body in a bag on the side of the road with no regard whatsoever for the fact that you birthed that child. So it says about the mom's boyfriend, who's already been put in jail. Hunt, who has a previous child abuse conviction from 2005, had been romantically involved with Jones' mother since December of 2017, according to their Facebook relationship status. Lord, 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 Facebook. He was found sleeping in his car near San Diego International Airport Saturday. Hunt now faces a sentence of 50 years to life in state prison if convicted. Love's mother, Tequesta Graham, who was also detained by authorities, though she did not appear in court, still relatives told KTLA that Graham was still being held on her own separate bond of $2 million, though an inmate record search failed to yield any names matching hers. A registered sex offender, Graham was convicted of enticing a minor female for prostitution in 2009, according to Megan's Law. So this bitch should have never had a child from the beginning. County workers found Jones' body last week at the bottom of an embankment, a stone thrown from a popular trail. After police sought public assistance to identify the unknown girl, an overwhelming response from the news media and tips recovered from the public helped the Los Angeles sheriff. So where's the mama? With Graham and Hunt behind bars, Jones' family is ready for answers. Child, didn't it seem like they were saying they didn't know where the fuck the mama was at first? Y'all, I cannot. So she was already trying to get some underage girl to prostitute. Then you get with a man who's known for child abuse. What the fuck was going on in that household? Y'all, where CPS be at? Where CPS be at with some of these terrible fucking people that become parents? It's more than just the mother and the boyfriend. We have to get to the bottom of it. One family member told KTLA, we need justice. We need to figure it out. It wasn't supposed to happen like this to no one. Everybody deserves an answer. I mean, I just kind of feel like it's obvious that the mama and the boyfriend killed the little girl. What else do y'all want to know? You know, what else do y'all want to know? Like, if you got family members out, you know, in front of the news station that care about the little girl, why the hell wouldn't you give the little girl to the family members? Why wouldn't the family members petition to get the little girl away from her? So much shit that could have happened besides stuffing this little girl into a fucking garbage bag and putting her on a duffel bag and putting her on the side of the road. Y'all, that's some terrible shit. Let's move on. But that's Trinity Jones. God rest her poor little soul. I can't imagine. I cannot imagine. So we're moving on to Empire. Y'all, they say Empire came back to terrible ratings, bitch. Lord and ever. Because of the whole situation going on with Jussie Smollett. It also said that the show might end up being canceled because of Jussie and everything that's going on with him. He pled not guilty in court this week. Y'all, I don't know what's gonna happen. I certainly don't think he deserves the 64 years in jail, and I feel like Empire was already on its way out. To me, Empire hadn't been that great since season 3, but let y'all tell it, it's been rolling, you know, ever since. I don't know what's gonna happen with the show, but I know that everybody that's on that show can go somewhere else, so they'll be all right. And then, you know, in other Chicago arrest issues, R.Kelly. So this past week, someone called in a tip saying that a suicide pact was taking place at R.Kelly's Trump Towers apartment. The police went there, found, you know, a couple of women there. I think it might have been 6 women. The 2 we've seen and 4 additional women. I'm not sure whether they were there or it was said that they were there. Either way, R.Kelly was there having a meeting with his lawyer, and come to find out that there was no suicide pact. But it didn't say when the suicide pact was going to happen. It just said that it was going to happen at some point. But the police, not having a time, had to go and check immediately anyway. And I just kind of feel like if that's how they go out, that's gonna be some crazy ass shit, y'all. That's gonna be something for the record books for real, for real. Like, word, a suicide pact? I really, really hope that these young women are not that far gone, you know? I know that there have been more stories like the young girl who he had dressing like a boy has come out and said that, you know, he pulled her hair out and abused her and fought her. And we know that. We know about all the abuse that's taking place. When is any of this abuse going to get him arrested? There was another tape that came out, a third tape, that a couple said they found in their home. And I'm just like, how the fuck you find a VHS tape in your home of R. Kelly and you don't know R. Kelly and you don't know nobody that know? Like, that don't even make sense. The man who found it, the husband, his reasoning was, oh, well, you know, I used to watch a lot of sports videos, so my friends would always just drop a sports video off. I'm like, who does that? Who accidentally drops off a tape of R. Kelly fucking on the little girl if that's him in a tape? Because I don't know if it's been proved that that's him in that tape or not. But the fact that these tapes are popping up the way they are, it made me look at the couple in a funny way, okay? So authorities are saying that there's no reason to believe that Mr. Dennis, the man that found the tapes, has done anything wrong, but bitch. Okay, I don't know. R. Kelly's attorney Steve Greenberg tells TMZ R. Kelly denies that he is on any tape with underage girls. Nigga, how you gonna deny it? We've already seen the first one. The doubt here is self-evident with reporting that the man on the tape kind of sort of looks like R. Kelly. That doesn't make it him. It is not him. Child, please. Greenberg also says he wants to know what investigators will do about the fact that the Dennises were in possession of a possible child pornography tape. Asking, are they going to be prosecuted? He adds, it is obviously now just open season on R. Kelly. It is irresponsible to continue to take speculation of every time Dick and Harry and report it as fact. I will agree with Mr. Greenberg on that. Because I think it's rather convenient for this tape to just come out of nowhere as all of these allegations are flying around and R. Kelly is back in public eye for, you know, having sex with underage girls, and now all of a sudden you found a tape in your fucking house, a VHS tape after VHS went out like 25 years ago. Now you done found the tape in your house in a duffel bag somewhere, sir. I don't know if I believe that, y'all. I do not know if I believe that at all. Gary Dennis did come forward, you know, and call the police and everything. He said he has no connection to R. Kelly, but that shit just sound fishy to me. How the fuck that, you know, say if that is him, how did that just happen? And why is it that you are able to get out and do a press conference saying that it's him without any real proof that it's him? It kind of sort of looks like him. What does that mean? Y'all, I cannot. It's always something new with R. Kelly every damn week. Let's move on to the Millennium Tour. So first of all, I thought I was gonna go, but them tickets was too expensive, bitch. I was like, hold up, I don't know if I want to pay all of that. I don't know if I want to pay all of that. But y'all know they've been doing well. They just had their first week of shows. And Raz B came out on video, I think it was Wednesday, saying that he was leaving the tour because he didn't feel safe. Everybody knows that Raz B has said repeatedly and loudly and frequently over the years that Chris Stokes, their manager and producer of Immature and of B2K, sexually abused the boys, forced them to have sex with each other, you know, do stuff with each other, do stuff with other grown people, whatever. And some people didn't believe him, but some people do believe Raz B. And Raz B said that he felt that Chris Stokes was around, and if Omarion will come and talk to him, then maybe they could rectify the situation. Fast forward a day later, he's back on tour. Y'all, I really do feel, and everybody wanted Fizz to say something about this Chris Stokes issue when he was on Marriage Boot Camp, because it's obvious that he's still hiding a lot of things that have happened to him in life. But I feel like Raz B has been telling the truth all these years, and that nobody is really listening to him, and he's forced to be on tour with y'all. And there's some of y'all that refuse to come up and say what the truth is, because y'all don't want people to know that this is what y'all have had to do in y'all lives as young men. It's not okay. It's not your fault. I feel like I wish they would come to bat for him and stop letting him look crazy to everybody, because it's obvious that he's been through something traumatic. I'm glad he decided to get back on the Millennium Tour, because, you know, y'all need that money and everybody needs to see all of y'all, not just some of y'all, you know? So I hope that they continue to do well with the Millennium Tour. speaking of tours, Nicki Minaj is on tour overseas right now, and she had 2 different shows that have been canceled. And this most recent show that's been canceled, her fans erupted in screaming Cardi B, Cardi B. They were very upset about it, to the point that she had to get online in a full face of makeup and say that there were technical difficulties. Those 2 places were added at the last minute, but they could not accommodate her show. They couldn't accommodate it electrical wise. And I just don't understand why this isn't something that was not checked out ahead of time. You know, you have to wonder what the shit has been going on. Fans were tripping out. I even saw a video where it looked like they said that she was fighting somebody, but you know, it didn't really look like that. Or maybe going off on a fan, it didn't really look like that. But I don't know what's going on with Nicki. You know, either from the standpoint of her shows, because if it happens too many more times, you're not going to be able to use technical difficulties as an excuse anymore, for one. And another thing, this nigga who she fucking with, rumored to have pled guilty to driving on a suspended license. It's like, why are you driving? You go with Nicki Minaj. Can't she get somebody to drive y'all everywhere? Uber, my nigga, like, take the cheap route. I don't understand what's going on with her right now. I just hope that she's okay. I hope she's not making decisions to tarnish her brand. I hope she's not making decisions to fuck up her bag. And I hope she's not putting herself in a situation to be with someone who doesn't really care about her, but is just with her because of who she is and what she can give them. Y'all know I don't always like the way Nicki does things, but I still like her. I still love her. I really, really do. And I just feel some type of way about the fact that she seems to have stunted her growth in one way or another. And if you don't think that being with Kenneth Petty is stunted growth, it is. Now you want to be with a hood nigga that got a record when you should be out here fucking with somebody who got more money than you. Like, you need to date up, Nicki, not lower. Okay? She canceled a show in Slovakia and she canceled one in France. And things just got nasty. So I hope that she is able to continue her tours without any more issues. And I hope that she's able to be successful and, you know, find her a better man before he ruins something for her. I'm just saying, y'all, something about that situation just seems like, girl, why are you doing that to yourself? Okay? Why you, that nigga can't even vote. Why are you doing that to yourself with somebody that can't even like take part in a in a democratic process with your rich ass? Child, I guess. Moving on, y'all. So let's talk about Wendy Williams lastly. So Wendy Williams was on her show. Y'all know she's back. And she made a comment about the fact that Howard Stern is coming out with a new book. And she was like, anything in that book is probably going to be some soft shit because he didn't went Hollywood now. He's soft. He went Hollywood. You know, when you're on the outside looking in, you can get the real tea. But when you've become a part of it, you no longer want to dish the tea the way you once did. And apparently Howard Stern got pissed off and went off on her on his show for 40 fucking minutes, calling her a man, telling her to worry about her husband and his cheatation, to worry about her mystery illness, Graves' disease. It's not a mystery. She said she'd had it for years, but whatever. A lot of people like the fact that he went on her, i.e. DJ Envy and them, okay? Charlamagne wasn't there this week, so it was them, you know, why, you know, I mean, he went off on her. I mean, it was really, you know, the way he was like just acting like it was some classy shit to go off on a woman in the way that he did. I don't know how I really feel about Howard Stern. I've never really liked Howard Stern like that. Just seems like, you know, one of them old pervs or whatever, but, you know, whatever. Her saying that he went Hollywood and he was soft did not warrant the 40-minute berating and questioning of her womanhood that went down. I don't always agree with everything that Wendy does, y'all. I really don't. And sometimes I gotta turn the channel on her ass because she be saying shit and I be like, bitch, now if you don't stop. But I thought it was so funny that she will not reply to anybody in the community that she's from. But she will reply to Howard Stern and tell him that she still loves him. Girl, really? So you gonna ignore Lil Kim, you gonna ignore Method Man, you gonna ignore all of the people in hip hop who have made you who you are because theirs are the business that you've been telling all these years, not them white folks like you do now, okay? And it just makes me upset that you care so much about what some white man has to say that you will give him a response even when he went in on your ass for 40 minutes unnecessarily. But when it comes to the people who you've been able to get famous off of talking about they shit, You don't have no words for them. I don't like that. Something about that made me feel some type of way. And it just made me look at Wendy like, bitch, you might be on your way out. Because I don't know if I'm getting to my limit with you, bitch, I don't know how everybody else feeling about you. But it's starting to feel like a real Oprah Winfrey situation where you talk about black people shit because you know that's your core audience, but you pandering to white women. And when you do that, it comes off like you selling out in one way or another. And then the fact that you refuse to talk about Kevin and all of his bullshit, but you want to talk about everybody else's bullshit. To me, I don't like that. But I understand it's a job. But at the end of the day, Wendy pissed me off and made me feel some type of way. And I just kind of feel like Wendy need to get her shit together. Like, if you was going to ignore people when they respond to you because of what you say in your purple shade, you need to ignore Howard Stern's fucked up looking ass. Okay? Say what you want to. Alright? Anyway, y'all, that's all I got to talk about. Shit ended up being long anyway. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you have not already. I love y'all. I hope y'all have a good weekend, and I will see y'all in the next one.